Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and this is Virtual Weight Watchers Workshop, or Weight Watchers Virtual Workshop number 405, brought to you by IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You can scoot on over there and see and print out the notes from the last 404 workshops before this one and get lots of recipes and lots of things we're catching up on. But today is Sunday, March the 9th, 2025. Welcome, welcome. Who forgot to turn their clock ahead? Not this girl. Yeah, actually I was accused of, I don't know, kind of bullying some people for making them do it early. But anyway, hello and happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you all are having a fantastic week. The weather is finally cooperating here in East Tennessee, and it's looking like we're going to have a great week. John and I have gotten out to walk a couple of evenings. Karen and I have got some good walks in, so I'm looking forward to some better weather. I actually played in the dirt this week, went ahead and got some of my compost out that I've been working on. So yeah, so it's promising to be a very beautiful, very busy week this week. And let's see who is popping in here. Let's see, we've got Elaine, hello, and hello Lynn, hello Carol Lou. Good to see all of you. If you happen to be brand new, or if you are joining us after a little bit of time away, please go ahead and say hello and let us know that you're new, because we would love to welcome you. We've got a great group of ladies and gents here, and they would love to welcome you. Hello, Carol Ann is from New Jersey, right? And hello, John from home base. Hello, Mary Ann to you. It is good to see you. Again, today is March the 9th, and this is virtual meeting. It's Weight Watchers virtual meeting workshop. What am I trying to say? Number 405. Okay, the sun and the lack of the extra hour of sleep has got me all discombobulated. But let's see. Hello, Sarah. Sarah is exhausted after losing the hour. She says it's like a jet lag. I'm with you, girl. And hello, Lena. Hello, Kim. Hello, Mary from Pittsburgh. And hello, Orlando Debbie. So I did enjoy this. It's still just barely light outside. I'm not saying that the sun didn't set until 8 o'clock tonight. But it's just not quite as gloomy. I love that. I love that about springing forward. I don't love the springing forward. I swear, losing that hour of sleep, it gets me. It gets me every time. Yeah, I think we should just leave it alone. So this, y'all hear this sad story from me twice a year, every year, except I love the falling back. Don't like the springing forward, but I love the daylight that it brings. Hello, Noreen from New York, and hello, aloha, Kathy. Hello, Vicky from Illinois. So anyway, I'll quit whining about the time change, but I'm just wondering, will anybody admit, and hello, Melissa, was anybody late for their first event today? So I warned my Sunday school class. I warned my employees, even though they don't work on Sundays, but I just warned them. I was like, y'all know the time changes tonight, right? Yeah, I warned Casey and Alan. I tried to warn as many people as I could so that they would not be late for their first event. I actually had baby cuddling duty at church this morning, so I definitely did not want to be late for that. But okay, so today again is Sunday, March the 9th. Daylight savings time was last night. If you are in a state that doesn't celebrate that, you're probably thinking, where is she? Or she's early or something. But yeah, so yesterday at this time, it was 7:03. Tonight, it's 8:03. Yeah, and I did not want to get out of bed this morning. Okay, so again, if you're brand new, let us know. We would love to welcome you. Hope everybody else is getting some fantastic weather like we're getting here in East Tennessee, because it's looking like it's going to be a great week. The robins were out. The peepers are back out. Those are just little green frogs, in case y'all don't know what those are, that live in bodies of water. Everybody was attacking the bird feeder. It's looking like spring is on the way. And hello, Sandra from Dingman's Ferry. And I know John can't wait for it. He just wants it to be like 90 degrees all year round. I disagree with that. But anyway, okay, so our weekly focus for this group, over on the If You Have an Egg Facebook group, we have a weekly focus that is hosted by Julie every week. And, hold on. So here's an argument for that. Carol Ann says she can enjoy the safety of walking her dogs in the light at night. See, right there, that's a reason that we should leave it alone. So let's just leave it alone, okay? Okay, government officials, let's stop. Let's just leave it alone. But over on the If You Have an Egg Facebook group, our lovely hostess Julie is hosting focusing on pushing past a plateau. We're going to be talking about that tonight. We're going to be talking about getting over a plateau, or how to push through a plateau. But I think this is a really good discussion that Julie and I and everybody else would love for you to participate in, because and John says, it's time to mow grass. No one on the planet is excited about mowing grass as John is. John is the most excited grass mower on the planet. But there will be lots and lots and lots of people who are experiencing their very first plateau or just a frustrating plateau that would love for you to join in that discussion over in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. And if you're not already a member of that group, one of our lovely ladies, none of the gents will do it, but one of our lovely ladies, I'm sure will be posting that link here soon. You do need to answer the 3 questions though to be granted access into the group, just to make sure we don't have any weirdness going on. But we're just going to be chatting. So it's just going to be a weekly focus. We used to call it a challenge because we were challenging ourselves and people thought that they had to compete with each other. It's just a focus. So we will be focusing on that this week. I know that there are lots of people, again, facing their first plateau or just an extremely long plateau or a frustrating plateau. When is there ever not a frustrating plateau though? That would love to hear your input, your ideas on how to push past that. So that is this week over in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. Next thing is a public service egg announcement, and let me get my iPad going here for this one. So it appears that the final rollout for the remaining macros has happened. Okay, so I was leader of the extremely whiny group. I'm just kidding, there were lots of us that were extremely whiny, but I was participating in that extremely whiny group that didn't have those last 2 macros. So I got the notification from Weight Watchers that the last 2 macros had rolled out almost as soon as I got it, as voila, it was there. So I was like, wow, thanks for waiting till the last minute to let me have mine. But I'm done whining because I have it. So really quickly, wanted to let you know those macros are all there now. Yeah, I know Debbie was in the whiny group too. There were several of us, but they are all there now. And just really quickly, and we don't have a lot of time to spend on it, it's just a public service egg announcement. But in case you didn't know that is now available, it should be rolled out to everyone. So there shouldn't be anyone missing this now. If you don't have it, I would suggest that you go ahead and log out and log back in of your app just to kind of force it into doing that. But real quick, your choice on macros are now protein, carbs, fats, fiber, sodium, calories, and added sugar. To add or remove one of these tiles, so this is like a little widget or a tile on your in your Weight Watchers app. To add or remove, you're going to go to this little square right here that says add or remove. Once you touch that little plus sign, once you touch that, then you're going to see these are all wiggling. I don't know if you can see it or not, but all of those little widgets are wiggling. If you want to delete one, you're going to touch that red circle with the red line through it, and it's going to move it down into the available to add section. If you have something in your tray, in that available to add tray that you've not already added, when you're on that same page, you're going to hit the green plus, the circle with the green plus sign in it, and it's going to move it up. And then once you've done that, and you can move them back and forth as many times as you want to, do not forget. Okay, Debbie just said what I was going to say. Do not forget to scroll down and click save. If you don't hit save, it's just going to stay like it was. It doesn't matter how many times you move the tiles back and forth. If you don't hit save, it is not going to save it. Okay, if you need any help with that, let me know. I'll be happy to circle back around to that later and discuss it with you personally if you need any help with that. Okay, this week's Good Egg Award. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but this week's Good Egg Award actually goes to a company. So instead of picking one of you individually, which you all have been just like telling me so many good things, but it goes to a company this week. So it's hard to believe, but I was so excited when I saw this campaign at Kroger this week. We had it at Kroger, and I'm sure some of you all had it at your other local grocery stores. So stores like Kroger, Costco, Sam's, you know, some of those places, they've always been known for giveaway samples. So that used to be really, really popular before 2020. It's starting to get back into popularity. My dad actually did that for a couple of years right before he passed away. He could not sit still, even though he should have been retired. But he would go, he was like a product demonstrator at Kroger because he just could not sit still. So for the most part, Sam's, Kroger, Costco, places like that, historically, the items that they are giving away as part of these demonstrations are usually like a quick serve, something that's quick to serve. Oh, Melissa just asked a great question. It does not, okay, I'm so sorry. I'm going to sidetrack real quick. Melissa just asked if you can rearrange the tiles. That does not appear to be a function yet. That's a great question, Melissa. Thanks for asking that. And I'll keep checking on it just because y'all know I love to do stuff like that. Maybe if you remove them. Oh, dang it, Melissa. Hold on. Let me just check this real quick. So Melissa has totally distracted me. So let me get rid of calories, carbs, and protein. Okay, and let me save it. So now mine is in fats, fiber, sodium, and added sugar. Now let me add back protein, carbs, and calories. Yes. Okay, hello, Susie. Melissa, interestingly enough, we cannot stop and do that right now, but if you remove them and put them back in a certain order, they go back in the order that you put them back in. Okay, somebody take a note. I didn't bring a pen over here tonight. Somebody take a note for me to go back and do that again after the chat and do a little video of it and show how I did that. That was a fantastic question, Melissa. You will get a gold star Tuesday night. Just kidding, I don't have any gold stars, but okay, that was a great question. So, back to the Good Egg Award for this week. So notoriously or historically, oh great, Melissa figured it out. But historically, they've been like quick serve, snacky things, pre-packaged food, something that's heat and serve, or some other fairly processed food that's easy to sell from someone giving a sample. So if you were standing there doing like, let's say stir fry and you're, whatever, that's not a great, that's not a great demonstration sale item, because then you have to tell people 7 different, and yes, so she gets a Bravo sticker, 7 different places to go and buy this. So it's normally things that are quick and easy. Anybody could do it. The stuff's sitting right there, and it's a quick sale for that company, okay? So while I was at Kroger this week, though, I was greeted by a lovely young lady, big smile. I mean, I just made a creepy smile, just a lovely big smile, who is giving out, of all things, slices of Sumo citrus. What? Say what? Yeah, Sumo citrus, and I love Sumo citrus, but she was giving out samples of that. It was a fresh fruit, freshly peeled from a fresh smiling face. Yes, that's what I said. I was so excited to sample the already deliciousness. So I already know how delicious Sumo citrus is, but I was so happy to get a sample of it. I was like, yes, normally I'm like, don't make eye contact with them, keep on walking. That's got too much sugar, too much fat, too many points. Don't want to figure it out. I'm going to end up buying some and eating it, blah, 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 blah. But when she said, would you like to try some Sumo citrus today? I said, yes, please. Thank you. I'd love to try some today, even though I already know what it tastes like. But I was so excited to sample it. And I was so happy that adults and kids alike were being served a real, unadulterated, whole food that it warmed my heart. So Carol just asked what a Sumo citrus is. I did not buy one because I thought everybody, do I already have one? I do not. I thought everybody knew what this was, but I will look up a picture real quick for you. So, and check it out. They are having a Citrus Lovers sweepstakes this month. So it just made a win-win-win. So a whole food, a fresh shining face, absolutely delicious. And they are having a, let me get back over here. And they are having a, they're having a sweepstakes this month. And yes, Debbie, it is a huge Tangelo. It is the size of an orange. It's so easy to peel though. Here is a picture of one. So this is a picture of one. This happens to be from Target, but they are so easy to peel. So she didn't have any tools with her. She was literally, the skin is so loose around the top. She was literally just standing there peeling them and putting them in little containers. But bravo Sumo Citrus, you are a good egg for giving us actual delicious whole foods, no other additives, no whatever, as part of a demonstration this week, and for having a citrus lover sweepstakes, and I will post a link to that later. But yeah, you are a good egg, Sumo Citrus. Thank you so much for doing that, and I guess for Kroger too for letting them set up. Okay, so that's enough of the good egg award this week. Keep sending me those great stories. Keep sending me or keep posting those inspirational posts. You just might be next week's good egg award recipient. You never know. This week we're talking about pushing past plateaus. So we have chatted about plateaus versus maintenance so many times over our years together. I mean, so many times. I did not go back and count how many chats there are, but I know we've been talking about plateaus versus maintenance since at least my earliest recollection of that is probably 2018. So it's been for a while. It's a real thing. So let's take another look, because it's a real thing to keep in consideration. So let's take another look. First thing, did you know that in both fitness and weight management scenarios, a plateau refers to a period of stalled progress? So it looks kind of like this. Instead of your weight going like this, a plateau might look like that. Losing and gaining the same couple of pounds over and over until something changes or you pull your hair out. Okay, seen it, been there, done that. Should make a t-shirt. Maintenance, on the other hand, is an intentional stage. So you meant to do this. It's an intentional stage of maintaining the weight, a desired weight or a desired fitness level. This period of intentional maintaining, it could be because you're at your desired weight or your desired lifting capacity or your desired miles run or something like that. So it's your current status. You might be in an intentional maintenance period because that's where you plan to be, or on the other hand, because life circumstances warrant focusing on something else. There's something else that you need to put your focus on instead of focusing on active weight loss at that point. And it is okay to put yourself into an intentional maintenance period if you need to. So that said, we all want weight loss. And yes, I know it's backwards because it's Facebook, but we all want weight loss to look like this, right? Oh wait, sorry. We all want weight loss to look like this. This is what we want. So we want our weight loss to look like this and go down to goal. So we want to start here and we want to get to goal. And we want it to be predictable. We want to know exactly how much we're going to lose every week. We want to have zero plateaus. So we don't want to have any of these. Even if it's short, we want it to be perfectly linear and always going down and never going up. And we want to see progress every single day. So who does that sound like? Forget that it has an X at the top. That's what we all want. We all want this, right? In reality, weight loss looks like this, okay? It actually looks like this one. So these little periods where we go down, oh yay, oh we went up, we went down, oh we went up, oh no, we went down. So here to here, so your beginning number and your ending number are the same, but it's not going to be linear like this. If it's linear like this, then you're doing something drastic that's not sustainable and not maintainable. So real life is going to look like this. So instead of being predictable, it's very unpredictable. You cannot predict how much you're going to lose every week, day, month, year. You want zero plateaus. You should expect some occasional stalls, some occasional times that are like this. Everybody wants it to be perfectly linear. I started here, I'm going to end here. There are going to be sporadic increases in there, but then sometimes there will be big drops. This person that I stole this chart from, thank you. This person is Carter Good, thank you. Agrees that sometimes you're going to have a big whoosh. So sometimes you're going to have down, up, same, down, up, same, down, up, same, down, up, same, and down. So you could also have a big whoosh. Okay, so when you kind of are gaining and losing, you know, it might not stay exactly at this weight. So let's say that you're at 165 and your goal is to be at 150. So you may not stay. A plateau doesn't necessarily mean that you're at 165 that whole time. A plateau might mean that you're at 167, 165, 163, 165 and a half, 168, you know, whatever. You're kind of doing this, but your status, so your line, even when it's going like this, is kind of staying the same. So I want to know, big question, have you ever experienced a weight loss plateau? So have any of you ever experienced a weight loss plateau? So a time when your overall graph felt more like this, instead of, even if it went like this, that it felt like it was staying status quo instead of doing this and gradually going down. So who has ever experienced a weight loss plateau? And I'm gonna go ahead and raise my hand because I have. I'm gonna get a drink real quick while y'all are chatting. Plateaus, anyone? Ann says 100%. Yeah, 105%. Lynn says yes. Sarah says, I sure am right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and Deborah says yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, if you don't think that you've ever had a plateau, then you're brand new. You're brand new to weight loss if you don't think you've ever had a plateau. Any sustainable weight loss is going to have plateaus. You're going to have those times. Diana says yes. Sandra says yes. So how long did it last? So if you think back to your last plateau, how long did it last? Did it last for a day? That didn't make sense, Kelly. Did it last for like a couple of weeks? Did it last for a couple of months? How long do you think your last plateau lasted? And then follow-up question, did you recognize it as a temporary stop on your journey? Did you recognize it as that? It's just a temporary stop on my journey. It'll start happening again. Remember that whoosh I was just talking about a second ago? Or did you throw in the towel? Because I have to admit, there have been times when I've been on a plateau that I've been like, forget it, this isn't working. I've been at the same weight now for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, Ann says. Diana says so far 2 weeks. Deborah says 2 weeks. There have been times that I've just been like, forget it, and just throw in that towel. Yeah, Carol Lou said months and still in it. Okay, another question. And hello, Barbara from Bonao, South Carolina. What about an intentional decision to maintain your weight? So instead of, like a plateau, we would call it I don't know what happened. It's a period of stalled progress. So I think I'm doing okay, but it just seems like, seems like whatever I'm doing, it's just stalled. It's kind of stalled out. But instead, have you ever made an intentional decision to just maintain your weight? And I'm going to go ahead and raise my hand because yes, I've done that several times. One option or one reason that you might do that intentionally is because you were either at your final goal, or you were at whatever that temporary goal was, like that next step or whatever. And so you decided to intentionally maintain your weight. Or have you ever chosen to maintain your weight because something else was going on and it was more important to hang in for dear life, to kind of hang on for dear life, to keep what you had already lost rather than focusing on losing more weight? I'm going to say I've been there, done that both ways. So in 2017, I did hit my goal weight. And of course, I went into intentional maintenance. And then my parents got sick. And in 2018 and 19, well, let's say sicker. So they had been sick off and on like all of my adult years, but they got both. They decided to tag team, even though they were not living together, not married anymore. They decided to tag team, get some pretty significant illnesses that had me being in here. And I gained a little bit of my weight back during that. And I thought, you know what? This is not the goal weight that I want to be at. This is not where I want to be, but I'm just going to stay right here. So it was about 10 pounds more than my goal weight. And I thought, I'm still going to do maintenance. I'm going to maintain my weight right here. So I clicked my little app over to maintain. And if you don't know how to do that, let me know. And I can show you how to do that. I can show you how to change that. But I decided to go into intentional maintenance so that I could keep myself at a plateau. I could intentionally put myself on that plateau and hang on rather than just throwing the towel in and gaining all my weight back. Okay. Gaining all my weight back wasn't going to help me mentally. It wasn't going to help my parents. It wasn't going to help, wasn't going to help my gut, or the way I felt or how tired I was, if I just went ahead and gained it all back. So instead I focused on my parents, and I did still keep doing Weight Watchers, but I reset my app to maintain instead of to losing. And that extra 7 points a day, I got to tell you, it came in really handy some days. But yeah, I focused on maintaining instead. Have you all ever been through a period where you thought, I just need to stay right here. I've already lost a little bit of weight or a lot of bit of weight, and I just need to stay here right now and just focus on whatever else, was going on instead of doing that. So we've all had, though, an unplanned plateau. So that was talking about one that you'd planned. So I planned to have a plateau when I was taking care of my parents. So I called it maintenance. It's the same thing as a plateau, but I just knew if you call it maintenance, it means you know what's going on. A plateau means I'm not sure what's going on. But all of us who've been on an unplanned plateau, or you have done some planned, maintenance, what are some things that you could share with others tonight? And also over in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group for our weekly focus on busting a plateau. So what are some things that you could share that kind of helped you get through it? This answer is not going to be the same for everybody. All of us have had, you might not even know, you might have come off of a plateau and didn't know. Sometimes coming off of a plateau just means you didn't stop. You just didn't stop. You may not know what you did, but you didn't stop. That might be an answer for me. It's refocusing on vegetables and on protein. If I'm not getting enough protein with my meals, I will stall out every single time. I'm a person that needs a lot of protein, and I have to have a ton of vegetables, a ton. The way I got to my goal weight in 2017, vegetables, raw, cooked, didn't matter what it was. You don't have to have a wide variety, but for me, vegetables, and getting plenty of protein. That was a big deal for me. Walking 2 different times a day. I didn't change. And again, this is just me. I'm just talking. I'm just rattling because I'm waiting on you all to throw out some ideas for people, because I promise you there are people sitting here watching that are like, I don't know what to do. I'm about ready to give up. It's been 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and my weight has had no significant change. I'm getting ready to give up, and they need to know what you did to not give up and what you did to get off of it. So as far as exercise goes, I did not change. When I've broken through a plateau before, I didn't change how far, because walking is my preferred always. I didn't change how far I was walking or the amount of time, but I broke it up into 2 different times a day. So if I was walking, let's say 5 miles a day, instead of doing all 5 miles at one time, and I know that's a lot, but instead of doing, or let's call it an amount of time. So instead of doing an hour of walking once a day, I did 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the afternoon. Still the same distance. I still walked exactly the same distance, the same amount of minutes, but it really, I don't know what it did. I can't explain it. I probably could explain it, but it really kicked something in. Melissa says changing it per routine. Exactly. Sometimes your body is like, you know what? I think you've lost too much weight. I think, we're in danger. A saber-toothed tiger is getting ready to come and get us. So I'm just going to hold on to this next little bit of weight. And that's a serious thing. I don't know if you know this or not, but people that have lost a significant amount of weight, the chemical in your body called ghrelin actually rises to make you think you've got to eat, because your body has a little panic attack. Thinking, oh, something's wrong, you shouldn't be losing this kind of weight, there must be something wrong, and it's just trying to protect you. But it's okay, body, it's okay, you can let go of some of that fat. Carol Lou says she thinks since we can see calories now, that she thinks her calories have been too low. Literally, I've done that before. Mary says pay more attention to your protein. Exactly, Carol Lou, I think that's a great idea. I did notice that since all of a sudden I can see calories within the last week, my calories seem a little low also. So y'all keep shouting out some things. I hope somebody will make a star goal that is relevant to what we're talking about. Even if your star goal is just to go over and chit chat in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group and give a suggestion to somebody else about how you came out of a plateau. That would be a great star goal for somebody, because it would be so easy to do. It's super specific, easy to do. It's truly doable in a week's time. It's actionable. You're going to do something, and it is so relevant to your journey and to theirs also. Okay, we're at the 30-minute mark. I've got to gather some things out of the freezer, a couple of things out of the refrigerator, and a couple of things out of the freezer, and I'm actually going to take you all with me while I gather those. But first, everybody stop and get a drink of water, and I can't wait to go back and read these after tonight's chat. If you are brand new, this is an hour-long chat. This is the point where we take a little break at 30 minutes so that I can get something to drink, and I can stop talking for just a second, and I also want you to go grab something to drink. So something to drink. Water would be great. Okay, and I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and put on my apron because we are going to be making something tonight. And you all are going to go on a little trip with me. We're not going far. Oop, that is the wrong side. We are not going far. And I forgot to bring something to put my hair up, but fortunately this is just for me. No one else will be eating this, so I will be good to go. We'll see, Carol is going to add more 0-point foods to up the calories. That's a great idea. Ooh, Debbie says if you're menopausal, figure out how much protein you need and aim to that. That includes pre and post menopausal. Okay, so I'm going to take you all on a little trip with me. We are going to be making some changes to a recipe tonight. So I had the weirdest week at church. I have been signed up for the nursery. I thought, and thank you, Joy, I thought that I was signing up for to watch toddlers. I thought I was signing up to watch like 3 and 4-year-olds because I personally like to crawl on the floor. I like to play dinosaurs. I like to play with Play-Doh. I love to play with Play-Doh. So I thought that I was signing up to be with toddlers, and apparently new guy at church didn't get the message, and he signed me up to be with bed babies. Okay? Bed babies. So, yeah, I do one baby at a time. My sister would be fantastic at bed babies, but I'm a one baby at a time girl, okay? So holding multiple babies at the same time, that's not really my scene. But, and I need my iPad. Hold on. What did happen though is the 2 ladies that I worked with this week, one of them is, gosh, I guess she's a great grandmother, and the other one is a young grandmother like me. And they were talking about a recipe that Mary Frances makes. She makes it one way. Her daughter makes it another way. They both looked at me. Like, well, how do you make it? Because the other lady makes it even a different way. And I was like, I've never made that before. I was like, I don't even know if I've even ever had it before. So they challenged me to make this. They did not realize that they were challenging me to make this in a more point healthy way, because they don't know me yet. They have no idea that I'm doing Weight Watchers or that we do this every week. So I decided to take Mary Frances's full fat recipe, her daughter's accidental lightened up, I think it was just made to be easier recipe, and then the other teacher's recipe, and I've lightened it up. So this recipe is, the original recipe was Mary Frances's frozen peanut butter, let me think, what'd she call it? No-bake peanut butter pie. So I did go online and I found one, and I was doing a quick tally. Of what the points would be. As Mary Frances makes it, this no-bake peanut butter pie was going to be like, I think I stopped calculating when I got to like 30 something points. So it was going to be 30 something points per slice. So I'm sure that Mary Frances's way is absolutely delicious, I'm not spending 30 something points on a pie that's going to make, you know, a big enough pie that I'm probably going to eat, you know, 200 points worth of the pie. So instead, I went to my handy dandy Weight Watchers app, and I went up here to my icon, went to recipes, and under recipes, I searched for a peanut. Let me see if I can top upside down, and if you all can see it, a peanut butter. Hers was frozen, so I typed in frozen pie, and I hit search, and it came up with this one, frozen chocolate peanut butter pie, and also a frozen chocolate chip peanut butter pie. So I chose this one, even though I'm not going to put any chocolate chips. Hello, Joycelyn. I'm not going to put any chocolate chips in mine. I chose this one to start with. And then we've talked about this many, many, many times. If you want to save, like if you think, oh, I might make that later, you hit this little icon, the little bookmark icon, and it will save the recipe. And you can go to the little pencil and you can change it however you need to. And you can go to this little box with the up arrow and you can share it with somebody. So I have already saved it. I've already bookmarked it. And then after I bookmarked it, I went to recipes. So up here to the icon again. And I went to recipes, and then I went to saved recipes. Whoops, sorry. Saved recipes, and that was the first one that came up. So ignore the other two right now. So we've got frozen chocolate chip peanut butter pie. Okay, so that's what I started with, and the frozen chocolate chip peanut butter pie was still 7 points per serving, and I thought, yeah, 7 versus 30 something sounds great, but I don't know, I'm not going to probably put chocolate chips in mine, and I'm trying to recreate hers, and hers didn't have chocolate in it. So, hello, Sherry. So I thought, well, okay, what can I do to continue to lighten this up? So I took the frozen chocolate chip peanut butter pie recipe, and I lightened it up. The original recipe from Weight Watchers had powdered peanut butter. Okay, I have that. So I have PB Fit, I use PB2 sometimes too. So I had powdered peanut butter. It had water, I've got water. It had plain fat-free Greek yogurt, I had that. It had confectioner's sugar, and I thought, confectioner's sugar, that's 13 points for confectioner's sugar. I'll probably swap something else out, and I'll show you in a second what I swapped out. A tiny bit of salt. This one had non-fat milk, water, egg whites, lemon juice. It had some stuff that I wasn't going to use, and it wanted a graham cracker pie shell. So I was looking for at Kroger, because I shop at Kroger most of the time. I was looking for that little thing of graham cracker crust that they're about this big. They had none, so we're going to have to make our own graham cracker crust. So I changed it. Now we have the frozen peanut butter pie. Take one. So take one I've already made, and I'm going to tell y'all what it has in it. I'm not going to go over the ingredients in vivid detail because we only have 20 more minutes for me to make take two. And I will get Casey to post this later, and I can also share I can share this recipe, and you can just pull it up in your app. So I did stick with the powdered peanut butter. In the full recipe, there are 14 tablespoons of this, and that is 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons. Then, because I couldn't find those little shells, I got some graham cracker crumbs, so I got those. Then I also got, and I think somebody already said it here a second ago, I went ahead and got some Swerve confectioner's sugar. Yeah, exactly. Joyce says Swerve powdered sugar. So Swerve confectioner's sugar is a sugar replacement. You use it 1-to-1. It has 0 calories. It's great for cooking. No artificial flavors or preservatives. It is gluten-free. But the first question y'all are going to ask me is what it is made out of. The sweetener is erythritol. So if you're super sensitive to erythritol, just keep it, just don't eat all of this. Okay, so I did go ahead and get that. Let's see, then it wanted, so the lady, the second lady, or the Mary Frances's daughter, she uses Cool Whip. So she uses whip topping in hers. So I did get some reduced fat. I got some reduced fat Cool Whip. I wanted some Truvia, some light Truvia, not Truvia, True Whip, some skinny True Whip. Kroger did not have any today. So instead I got some light Cool Whip, some reduced fat Cool Whip. She did, to make my graham cracker crust, I used, instead of full fat butter, because Mary Frances did make her own graham cracker crust. Okay. I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. I used Land O'Lakes. So Land O'Lakes light butter with canola oil is not always easy for me to find, but when I do find it, I go ahead and grab some. So I happen to have some of this. This is the lowest point butter spread. So it's considered butter, light butter with canola oil. It's 50% less fat and calories. This one I think is the best. So I did have some of that. And then the plain fat-free Greek yogurt. Okay, so that version, I cheated. Where did it go? Hello? Oh, here it is. So that version, I cheated and I tasted the topping. It's okay. It is okay, but it's just okay enough that I decided to go ahead and make a take two. And let me go grab my little spoon because I forgot to grab it. It's right here. So that version, that take one, is 5 points. This makes about, I think it was 8, serves 8. So it's gonna make 8 of these little cups. And it does have the little buttery graham cracker crust in there. And it's gonna be 5 points for this instead of the 30 points of Mary Frances's recipe. That's pretty good. I like it. Like, I mean, I'll definitely eat this, but tasting the topping earlier, trying to get this prep for you all, I thought, you know, I don't know, it just needs a little something else. So you all are going to help me make the second version, and I brought you all over here with me so that we could use the mixer on this side of the room. Let me get you all set up right here. Plus you all had a fun little trip to the refrigerator. You got to walk around the showroom a little bit. Okay, so first thing, I'm not going to do this by the exact proportions because I'm not making this whole thing. Like, we're not making 8 servings of this tonight. So instead I'm going to be putting, and let's see, and Susie wants to know if you eat it frozen. So you can, and Sarah says bring it. You can eat it frozen. I froze it for a couple of hours, and then I put it in the refrigerator for about 4 hours, just so that it would be really good and cold and it would be set, but that it wouldn't be frozen. So I'm not putting the exact proportions in here. Let me pull this back up again. So I'm not putting the exact proportions in here because I'm not trying to make 8 servings, but I did go ahead and pre-mix my peanut butter powder. So what the water was for was to take your peanut butter powder and make some reconstituted peanut butter. But this has so many less points. And now, like, I would not sit and eat this as peanut butter because I love peanut butter, but it is perfectly acceptable in a form like this. So this is just reconstituted PD2, and that's what that water is going to be for. I've already done that. Then instead of doing the non-fat plain Greek yogurt, it just didn't seem thick enough to me. So instead, I made some of my fat-free cream cheese. So we're going to put some fat-free cream cheese into a mixer. And if you don't have a mixer, you could use a whisk. This isn't even my mixer, but I so enjoy Christine leaving this here. So thank you, Christine. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of my recipe fat-free cream cheese. And then to that, so instead of doing the non-fat plain Greek yogurt, instead of doing 6 tablespoons of that, I've got about a half of a cup of fat-free cream cheese that I made. And if you need to see how to make that, that's on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. Just search fat-free cream cheese. To that, I'm going to add the Swerve. So that is Swerve confectioner sugar. I'm going to add those two things together. And I'm going to go ahead and get the mixer started. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creaming the cream cheese with the Swerve. Then to that, I'm going to add just a pinch. I'm going to add just a pinch of sea salt to help. That wasn't even a pinch. That was like a little tiny squib. Okay, just a pinch of sea salt, and keep your finger out of the beaters. And that is just to help kind of kick that sugary, not sugary, but the sweet taste is to kind of help kick that up a little bit. Okay, then to that, I'm gonna add, we're gonna have to do this fast. To that, and hello, Joy. To that, I'm gonna add my peanut butter. So I'm gonna turn it off for just a second, just so that I don't get my fingers caught in here. So I'm gonna add my reconstituted PB Fit. You can use PB2, you could use chocolate PB2 if you didn't want it to be, you know, kind of a chocolate flavor. So I'm gonna put my reconstituted PB Fit in there. And let it go ahead and start mixing again. Okay, and I'm gonna speed it up just a little bit. And then to that, I'm gonna add my light Cool Whip. Okay, and remember, this is not an exact proportion to the recipe because I did not want to make 8 servings. So while that is mixing, I went ahead and melted some of the Land O'Lakes light butter with canola oil, and I put some of the graham cracker crumbs in there. This version is going to come out to 5 points per serving. I'm going to take a couple of little cups because remember, I'm just making a take 2 experimental batch of this, and I'm going to put some of the graham cracker crumb, the buttery graham cracker crumbs that I just made. I'm going to put those in the bottom of this cup. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you can find those little individual graham cracker shells, knock yourselves out. I just could not find it at Kroger today, and then I use the bottom of another one of the cups to just flatten that out to kind of make a, you know, just to make a little graham cracker crust in the bottom of the cup. Okay, that looks good. And while that's finishing mixing, and that is just about done, I considered putting some Jell-O chocolate pudding mix in there. If you wanted to make it chocolatey, that sounded like that was going to be good. And depending on how this one turns out, and I'll have to try it tomorrow, I crushed a bag of Oreo minis, even with the Jell-O pudding, if I were to add that, and with an 1/8 of a package of the crushed Oreo minis, that would still just be to the 5. That would still just be 5 points. Okay, let's turn that off. Go ahead and pull our mixer up. And again, since this is just for me, I am going to taste the batter part of this. Just see if it's more to my expectation. See, that already tastes better. That already tastes, it tastes more peanut buttery, and it tastes more fluffy, I guess, for lack of a better term. So Mary Frances has been doing this for, I don't even know how many years. She feeds everybody at church. She is the feeder of all people at church. And I'm just gonna stick that under there so it doesn't drip, because I don't want to lose any of that. But the way she was going on and on and on about this recipe, when I tried it the first time today, I thought, that based on what she was saying, it just seemed a little lackluster, and I can tell you this has already fluffed up way better than version number 1. So version number 1, I'll show it to you again. Take 1 was so kind of skimpy in the cups, and I'm not even done scooping version 2. Look how much thicker version 2 is, and literally the only thing I did different was, instead of using non-fat plain Greek yogurt like it is, I used non-fat plain Greek yogurt that I had turned into fat-free cream cheese. That's literally the only thing I did. So that takes out, turning that into fat-free cream cheese just takes out some of the water that's in the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. That's basically what you're doing to make it into cream cheese. And look how much fluffier that is. So I'll show you that compared to the one that I made earlier. So the one I made earlier came up to here. The one I just made, look how much lighter and fluffier that is. And I have a feeling if I had used some of the Jello in there, some of this Jello mix, that it would have fluffed up even more, and then it could have been a chocolate peanut butter pie. But I will work on getting that recipe to Casey and posted for you all. But basically took Mary Frances's 30-something points per serving, and I'm sure it tastes like love because this lady, that feeding people is her love language. Her 30-something point per serving no bake frozen, I think she called it no bake frozen peanut butter pie, found something that looked pretty good on the Weight Watchers app, tweaked it even more and took it from 30-something points down to 7 points on the app, and then down to 5 points per serving. I'm much happier with 5 points per serving than with 30 points per serving. I don't know about you all, but yeah. So I will let this sit overnight in the refrigerator. I'm not going to put it in the freezer since I don't need to show it to you all here in a couple hours. So I'm going to let this sit overnight in the refrigerator. I will let you know the results of my test tomorrow. I'll be sure I will be here for a little while tomorrow, so I'll be sure and take some good pictures. I'll take one for the team and go ahead and try this. And if it's really good, I might go ahead and take one for the team and put just a little bit of the crumbled up crushed Oreos on there. But I hope you all enjoyed this. It's already tasting delicious. I'm so much happier though with take 2 than I am with take 1. So that's just to show you too, if you all want to take a recipe and lighten it up, don't give up the first time. If you don't like it, keep trying. Try again. And if you have any recipes that you'd like me to try and lighten up, just let me know. You can send me a direct message. You can email me at ifyouhaveanegg@gmail.com. You can comment on these videos. If you're watching this on YouTube, that's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. Go ahead and let that next video roll over. I promise you will like it. And please, please, please hit that subscribe button and go ahead and click the bell so that you will be notified of our next video. But thank you very much. Even though it's only technically 7:53 because my brain has not gone on to the, oh yeah, didn't even think about that. Anne says we can always help you eat the leftovers on Tuesday. You know what? If I make the rest of it for Tuesday, I might bring some for you all to try. That is a great idea. That's a great idea, Anne. But y'all have a great week. Thank you so much for being here. I'll try to go home and pretend like it's actually 9 o'clock. I know John's probably already ready for bed. But I will see you all next week. And thanks again. Have a great week. Good night.